What is up, weather enthusiasts? I'm your host, Pat's Path Predictor. Let's get right into the weather. Alright, so this is the situation we have right here, ladies and gentlemen. We have potential tropical development going on and starting in the next 5 days off the coast of Florida, going on right here according to both the European and GFS models last time I checked. And this is what we got right here. We start seeing something developing right here at 120 hours out, which is 1 a.m. on June 3rd from the run. And things start to organize, develop. We're getting down to 995, and we're looking at some potentially strong winds on the coast of Florida, off the coast of Georgia, and the Carolinas over here. Some rainfall as well as an association with that if this continues to develop and organize as we're potentially anticipating this to do. And as you can see, this kind of lingers around, starts to really ramp up in intensity off the coast of North Carolina and Virginia, gets down to 991, and those winds are over 64 knots right there, or 74 miles per hour, which that is hurricane criteria right there. So definitely something to pay attention to as time continues to go on. It gets actually down to 986 millibars at 252 hours out, which is 1 p.m. on June 8th, according to this run. And yeah, it looks like it's really starting to continue organizing. It gets down even lower to 981 millibars pretty much in the Atlantic Ocean right here, north of Bermuda and those areas right there, which that's quite interesting to take a look at, because I've been taking a look at some of the metrics with this, such as the global sea temperatures as well as the deep layer shear. And the global sea temperatures, where it initially starts to develop, which is off the coast of Florida, is 26 degrees Celsius, which is around 78, 79 degrees Fahrenheit, which that definitely can fuel some tropical development right there. But as time continues to go on, it moves further north like this, and it continues on the stream right there. I mean, could we see hurricane development? It's possible if it happens early enough, especially off the coast of North Carolina, considering how warm these waters are. And I've been saying this like a broken record. These waters are about 3 degrees Celsius above average, which is almost a record from what I've been looking at. But that's besides the point right there. If it can develop into a hurricane off the coast of North Carolina over here, I mean, that's basically its best shot to do it, because it needs to develop, it needs to organize, it needs to strengthen, all of those things right there. But anything past that, I don't see really any hurricane strength. I mean, we could definitely see tropical storm strength or even subtropical storm strength right there. But hurricane development is more of an iffy right there. So that's what we got for the GFS. And you're probably wondering, Patrick, this is just one run of of one model. What else are you going to take a look at? Well, I wouldn't be making this video if it wasn't for the European system over here. And this European run also has something developing as well. And this European system starts out at 1,004 millibars over here at 132 hours out, or 7 a.m. on June 3rd from the run. And things start to develop, slowly organize, and then starts to strengthen off in the Atlantic, kind of off of New England over here. I have a few issues with this, considering the cool sea temperatures. And if we take a look at the wind shear in that area, the wind shear is not that impressive now. It's around 30 to 40 knots, but right now is right now, and I have seen tropical systems develop into potentially high wind shear. A good example of that was Hurricane Fiona last year. Even though it was sheared like a sheep, it was still going in intensity right there. But yeah, something to really keep in mind as time continues to go on. And we get down to 976 millibars. So this tells me this is going to be a bit of a hybrid of a tropical and mid-latitude cyclone. For those of you who do not know, the mid-latitude cyclones are basically the nor'easters out here in the mid-Atlantic, in the New England area right there. However, I don't see very many nor'easters this late in the season, if any at all. So that's something to keep an eye on as time continues to go on. Next thing we're going to go ahead and show you guys at 5 days out over here. We're going to go ahead and show you some of the stuff that behind that. I want to go ahead and pull up some of the wind shear values right here. The wind shear where this is potentially going to develop is not really that great, according to the European system. If we take a look at the GFS over here, it's a little bit better, but not that impressive. Once again, we're going to have to go back to this. And yeah, it's there for sure, but the shear does start to weaken a little bit, and if it can get into that pocket of lower wind shear of around 25 knots or so, it definitely could capitalize off of that. but it's such a high sheared environment until pretty much it gets off the coast of Massachusetts, according to the European run right here, although it's pretty much still open season in the Caribbean Sea over there. If anything gets in there while that pocket is still fresh and good right there, nothing will have a hard time developing if you take a look at the temperatures. Plenty of warm water, plenty of weak wind shear. The storm system itself just needs to organize, and we have to watch out for dry air as well. And one thing I want to go next thing I want to go ahead and I want to go back to the GFS to take a look at what they're thinking about right here. And with this wind shear, it does start to weaken a little bit as you get to over here, right there, and along those lines right there. However, as time continues to progress, that wind shear is still going to be quite prevalent, I think, and even though the wind shear does start calming down considerably in this area while the system's going on, do I think it's going to be hurricane strength? It's going to really be dependent on a few things. And the next thing I want to take a look at is kind of the humidity of all this. I want to look at the dry air in association with this. And where this is going to be developing, there is one advantage this thing has, and it has a lot of moist air surrounding it. There is some dry air in the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico over there. It shouldn't impede on it too much unless something like this happens where it starts to get into the circulation right there. But if it can fight that off, it'll have no trouble developing into a tropical system right there. However, as later on, we're starting to see more dry air, which may potentially kill off the system as time continues to go on, although the GFS is not really showing that. But hey, I don't trust the GFS that far out anyway. So yeah, so the key takeaways I'm going to show you is we have plenty of warm water where this initially develops in Florida. We start to get that cooling water off once we get past North Carolina. So I think the time for development kind of stops after Virginia Beach, that area over there. And then there is still quite a bit of wind shear in this area right there, but that's being countered by this moist air that if it can take advantage of, well, it won't have really that much trouble developing. It'll look a little weird and ugly on satellite, but that's pretty much it right there along that. So we're going to continue to update you here on the Pat's Path Predictor channel. If you want to help us out getting more data and more information on this potential development, feel free to join my Discord server, Storms United Public. The link is in the description down below, or it'll be on the end screen right over there. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps us out, helps us make more videos like these. The goal of this channel is to get more people engaged with weather. But with that being said, have a wonderful day, guys. Stay safe.